موطني موطني الجلال والجمال والثناء والبهاء في رباك في رباك.
I want to invite Ekansh and Linda to speak a little bit about the demands that we have for our district, for our school board, and they're going to go into the specifics.
Hello, everyone. That sounds terrible. What we want is for the school district to do its job, to teach people. What's the point of learning about calculus and differential equations, or the metaphors in a poem about the beauty of nature, when Palestinians are being butchered in Gaza right now? The journalists in Gaza are dying for the crime of telling the truth. What's your excuse, PPS? Is someone going to kill you for speaking out? Tell the stories of the journalists reporting on the butchering of their own colleagues, and say their names! Muhammad Yagi, Ahmed Badir, and Muntazir al-Sawaf. They are but three of many. IDF soldiers killing Israeli hostages, UN aid workers, children. Tell the story of why this all came about. We, the students of PPS, want us and all the others after us to know what's happening in Palestine. Misinformation thrives on ignorance, and ignorance that the school district chooses to perpetuate. We have seen videos of IDF soldiers butchering whole families. We mourn the children who will never see their parents again. We mourn the parent desperately digging through the rubble to see if their son is still alive. I feel helpless to stop it all, but I know this. Everyone, present and future, must learn about what's happening in Gaza, because what we are seeing right now must never be forgotten. How many must die? 100? 30,000? 100,000? 1 million? How many Palestinians must die until it's important enough to speak out? Our school district is complicit in this genocide. For what reason does a school district have to open its coffers so others may bomb schools and butcher children a few thousand miles away? Who do you think we are? Do you think we are heartless, PPS? Do you think we plan on turning a blind eye to your betrayal of basic human decency? Do you think we don't see your money flowing into the hands of war criminals? Silence is the same as complicity, and we, the student body, will tirelessly work against you, PPS, until you implement our demands in full. No suffering we endure can be worse than what the Palestinian people suffer every day, and no action we take will be sufficient until the genocide ends. We, the student body, won't rest until our demands have been implemented. Thank you.
History has a tendency to repeat itself, and out of everyone, educators should know that progress happens when we acknowledge the current genocides, war crimes, and other tragedies happening in our current time. I will never understand why a school atmosphere would censor future leaders from information worthy of making real change. The pain of Palestinians is being ignored because you believe their death is political rather than a humanitarian crisis. We are saddened. We are saddened that PPS has failed to teach students about the last 75 years of occupation, an institutionalized regime of systematic racial oppression. We can only begin to bring peace when we are united, but your acknowledgement of Palestine is necessary, and your silence leaves us divided. The hypocrisy in your statement is clear. October 11th, you mentioned the lost lives of Israelis, but then failed to address the historical context for what happened before October 7th. Settler colonialism, stolen land, mass displacement, and ethnic cleansing. It is white supremacy that allows the suffering of brown children to go unnoticed. As a community, we stand here to demand that you recognize the death of over 30,000 Palestinians and the continuous suffering inflicted by the Israeli state through starvation, bombing, and the compliance of you and other institutions. We stand as PPS students to demand you honor all the lives lost and the truth of what's going on in Gaza. We demand an immediate divestment of companies profiting from the oppression of children. In our government curriculum, you endorse the civil liberties of freedom, but in practice turn around and funnel money to companies that restrict the life of Palestinian children. PPS is complicit in breaching the privacy of Palestinian civilians every day. This leads to an education system that is hypocritical and performative. I've seen through its ties to companies staked on perpetuating systematic oppression through spying on civilians. First, you must immediately divest the Public Employee Retirement Fund from Berkeley Research. Oregon Public Employees Retirement is the biggest investor in Berkeley Research, which provides intrusive surveillance technology to maintain control. The use of espionage not only forces them into a constant state of anxiety, but further enforces tyranny by the Israeli government. Second, you must dissolve your contract with SIH International. Your contract with SIH International must end as they have partnership with HP. HP is another leading surveillance force infringing on the privacy and safety rights of Palestinian citizens. Every person deserves to be free of capitalist colonialism, surveillance, and have moments of solitude and calm. No Palestinian is receiving the basic right currently. How can PPS claim to educate our children about the importance of humanity while being complicit with such companies? This is not controversial. You're already teaching about civil education. Now it's time for you to uphold it. Governments move slowly, but you have the power to act now. We demand you cut ties and cease fire.
والحياة والمزاج والهنا والرزاق في هواك في هواك هل أراك سالما منعما